Hi, my name is Abigail McCoy. I'm going to be a senior at Musselman High School, where I play volleyball and tennis. And after I graduate this year, I want to go to Shepherd College to be a math teacher. I enjoy math because I think it's a subject that you can use outside of school, and I enjoy learning about it and being able to apply it to my life every day. So today we're going to be reading a book about telling time. It's called Telling Time by Jules Oler. Tick. When most people talk about telling time, they don't mean, hey time, I've got something to tell you. No, telling time just means you're saying what time it is. And by the end of this book, you'll know how to tell what time it is. But to learn how to tell time, you shouldn't know what time is. Here's what time is. Time is when things happen, and time is how long things take. So when things happen could be, I drive my race car at 9 o'clock, or I start to eat lunch at 12. How long things take could be, it takes 2 minutes to brush my teeth, or it takes 2 hours to clean up my room. So that's what time is, when things happen and how long things take. Okay, but why do we tell time? I'm so glad you asked. We tell time to know when school starts. We tell time to know when our friends are coming over. We tell time so we don't miss our favorite TV shows. And if we couldn't tell time, we'd never see the beginning of a movie. We tell time in big chunks, big humongous chunks, and little chunks, eensy itty bitty chunklets like little shrimps. Let's start with the little shrimps. There are 3 kinds of little chunks. The shortest little chunk is a second. The middle-sized little chunk is a minute. There are 60 seconds in every minute. And the longest chunk is an hour, and there are 60 minutes in an hour. We tell the little chunks of time on clocks and watches, and a watch is just a clock that you wear on your wrist. We tell the big chunks of time on calendars. So what's a calendar? It's that pretty picture with the numbers below that hangs on the wall, and that stack of pages with numbers on them that sits on a desk. A calendar tells the days. Every day has its own name, like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. A calendar also tells the months. Each month has a name of its own too, like January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. A calendar tells us what year it is too, like 1860, 1900, 2001, or 2020, the year it is now. A calendar tells the dates, like Friday, October 1st, 1999, or your birthday. What day is your birthday on? What are the big chunks of time? Days, weeks, months, and years, plus decades and centuries. The shortest big chunk is a day, so you know what day it is. Then comes a week. A week has 7 days. Then comes a month. A month has about 30 days and about 4 weeks. And then comes a year. 1 year has 365 days, and it has almost exactly 52 weeks and 12 months. Then comes a decade. A decade is 10 years. So if you're 10 years old, you could say you're a decade old. The next biggest chunk is a century. A century lasts 100 years. Okay. Calendars show the big chunks, the days and the months and all that. And the clocks show the little shrimps, seconds and minutes and hours and all that. But how do clocks show the seconds and the minutes and hours and all that? 2 ways, a digital clock and an analog clock. A digital clock has big numbers in the middle, and it looks like this. An analog clock has little numbers around the edge and big hands that point to the numbers. Here's what an analog clock looks like. So you want to learn how to tell time. Let's start with the digital clock. Digital clocks have two sets of numbers. One set comes before the colon sign, which is the little two dots, and the other comes after it. The first number tells the hour. Let's look at this clock. The first clock up here, it says it's 3 o'clock. This one, the first one says it's 10 o'clock, and on the second one, it says it's 12 o'clock. Most clocks only go up to 12 o'clock. There are 24-hour clocks too. There's no such thing as a 33 o'clock or 127 o'clock. The numbers after the two dots mark the minutes. How many minutes are there in an hour? That's right, there's 60 minutes in an hour. So 3 with the two dots and 15 is 15 minutes past 3 o'clock, like this clock says right here. This one is 21 minutes past 6 o'clock. What does this clock say right here? That's right, it says 12:30. So now that you got your minutes and your hours, there's one more thing, AM and PM. When you're doing something in the morning, like eating breakfast, that's AM. But if it's afternoon, after 12 o'clock, like eating supper, it's PM. So breakfast is at 6 a.m. and supper is at 6 p.m. So now let's look at analog clocks, the ones with the hands. They're not really hands, not like people hands like these. They don't have fingers and they don't wear mittens. So why are they called hands? Because they point. Clocks have 3 kinds of hands: little hands, big hands, and second hands. Second hands tell the seconds, and big hands tell the minutes. The little hands tell, do you want to guess? The little hands tell the hours. So let's look at this picture of the analog clock, where the big hands tell the minutes and the little hands tell the hour. The second hand is easy. You can watch it move. Every second it passes a number, and that's another 5 seconds. You can hold your breath for 53 seconds and you're turning blue. Every time it passes the 12 at the top of the clock, that's a minute, so it's 60 seconds. The big minute hand moves slower than the second hand. Every time it passes a number, it's another 5 minutes. Hurry up, the movie starts in 5 minutes. It takes 60 minutes to go all the way around. 60 minutes makes 1 hour. The little hour hand is the slowest of them all. It takes 1 hour to go between the numbers. Like, Mom, I'm starving. It's been a whole hour since breakfast. It takes 12 hours to go all the way around the clock. So that's how to tell how long things take on an analog clock. But how do you tell what time it is? Look and see where the hands are. When the little hand is on the 3 and the big hand is on the 12, it's 3 o'clock. Like this blue clock right there. How about when the little hand is on the 4? Can you guess what time it is? That's right, it's 4 o'clock. How about when the little hand is on the 7? That's right, it's 7 o'clock. Now let's move the big minute hand too. When the little hand is on the 3 and the big hand is on the 1, it's 5 minutes past 3 o'clock, or you can call it 3:05, like this green clock right at the top. How about when the hour hand is halfway between the 7 and the 8 and the minute hand is on the 6? Can you guess what time it is? That's right, it's 7:30. All right, here's a tough one. What time is it when the little hand is almost on the 9 and the big hand is exactly on the 9? Can you guess? The correct answer is 15 minutes to 9, or 8:45. Here are some more analog clocks. See if you can tell the time on these. Great! Hey, guess what? You're telling time now. Here's a little poem to help you remember how long things take. 60 seconds makes a minute. That's a lot of seconds, isn't it? 60 minutes make an hour, long enough to take a shower. 24 hours in a day, just how long I want to play. 7 days make 1 week, 10,080 minutes, eek! A month is 4 weeks, sometimes more. I'd like to spend it at the shore. It takes 12 months to make a year. When New Year's comes, we'll give a cheer. 10 whole years a decade makes. I love to eat 10-decade cakes. A century long takes a long, long time. 1 full year plus 99. You now know how to tell time, so it's to end this little rhyme and this little book too. The end. So now that you know how to tell time, try looking at your clock on different times that you do things in your day, like when you wake up, or when you eat breakfast or lunch, or maybe when you like to go outside to play. So try to look at the time and see if you can tell the time on the clocks around your house. Well, thanks for being here with me today and reading this book, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you know how to tell time now. Hope you have a good rest of your summer and a good beginning to your school year. Bye!